All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. As per usual, I appreciate it. So, tonight, guys, the question is, are you ready for what's coming? And the problem with that loaded question is that we don't know what the hell's coming our way. Mr. Landfill, Double Q, thank you for the 5x5. Kaya, the Ozark Prepper, was that Excalibur, thank you for the 5x5. Catgirl, 11, Tree, Dobie, Joe, Carrie, Patrice, thank you for the 5x5. Babel, Grit and Grace, Adam, Betty, Max, Big John, Lone Prepper, thank you for the 5x5. Winston, Leona, Kevin, South Florida, RM, Bush Pig, Maria, Caroline, thank you for the 5x5. Todd Smith, Cat Lady, Nora, thank you for the Angry by Angry. Cat Lady, Todd, Carolina, thank you for the 5x5. Jan, Jean, John, Johnny, sorry. Loretta, Anastar, thank you for the 5x5. Major, Uptech, Lisa Lawson, Christopher, WTC. Ladybug, thank you for the 5x5. Nancy, John, thank you for the 5x5. All right. Big John again. All right. Thank you for the 5x5. And Very Curious Place. Thank you for the 5x5. Beef and Chicken, Tommy Salters, and Scott. Thank you for the 5x5. Paul, thank you for the 5x5. Eyes Wide. Joanne, thank you for the 5x5. All right. So, let's get into it. So, again, guys, with the hell was I saying before I got interrupted with the 5x5s? Basically, there's just a lot of shit going on. That's in a nutshell, right? And Roaming Prepper, thank you for the 5x5. Thank you for joining us. It's me, Rhonda, Cooking, Just Arizona. Thank you for the 5x5. America the Free, thank you for the donations. Make liberals cry again. So, tonight, guys, we're going to talk about the on the Angry Truth channel, that is. Tonight, we're going to talk about the very big possibility of Trump losing. We're going to go into why. And every day, something new's popping up, especially about the Harris campaign and the nonsense or the narrative that they're trying to write. So we're going to talk about that later tonight on the Angry Truth channel. But being that America right now currently is in some state of fuckery, everybody saw, I hope a lot of you guys saw, what the Chinese and Russians just pulled. That was yesterday. What they pulled was nothing short of a signal, if you will. A move that is letting us know that they have the galls and the balls to do what they did, right? So, for those that don't know, they flew 2 jets each. I think it was 2 Chinese jets and 2 Russian jets. They came close to our airspace, if you will. I don't think they entered it, but they came close to our airspace. And Canada and the United States, we responded in kind. And I think that was just to match power. Now, even though, guys, that the United States is in turmoil right now, people seem to think because Joe Biden is missing, I'm hearing all kinds of things with him being missing. What I think, guys, I personally believe that with Joe Biden right now, they're waiting for a good day, right? So they're waiting for him to get somewhat coherent and then have him speak. And his speech is going to be probably no more than 5 or 10 minutes long, and then he's going to bounce. He might even step down to step out of the race, to step out of the election, to do that over Twitter is super unprofessional. That's number one. I don't know why no one's calling that shit out. I'm like, my chair's breaking apart, man. Oh, shit. I think the screw came out. Oh, there it is. There goes the screw. I'll screw it back in later. But anyway, No one is calling out the fact that he dropped out of the race unprofessionally. That's like breaking up with a girl via text. And I'm pretty sure some of us have done that. But still, the professionalism of being a president of the United States is you address the nation as such. So clearly, he is sick. But somebody, a doctor, Kamala Harris, hell, his wife at this point, should speak for him. But the fact that he did it over Twitter or Instagram, or whatever, however he did it, was bullshit. And a lot of people are not calling that out. Someone said, yay, the chair's breaking finally. I found the screw, so it's fine. Has cancer from AIDS. Yo, it's fucking sick. I felt the thing just pop right now and the screw hit the ground. I was like, shit. Anyway, I'll get it later. Jason has a screw loose. Yeah, big time. But, so no one's calling that out. So, of course, we're going to go over what the Chinese and the Russian did and how that was a power move and sort of like a fuck you to the United States. I mean, again, man, I just don't. And everybody's like, well, you know, Biden is sick, so therefore the Russians and the Chinese are showing power. We still have the United States military. It does not take, guys, the president of the United States to respond to that. He is notified of that, and the military leaders go, oh, let's get it done, and then they fly jets or whatever they need to do, and they'll respond. If it's something that's an act of war, they're probably going to need the president's authorization at that moment. I mean, maybe even then they won't. But I know that they don't need the president's authorization to respond. And if they're attacked, they can attack back. They don't need the president's actions to do that. If it goes further than that, then obviously they're going to need Congress and all kinds of shit and papers and letters and expensive $200,000 pens to sign fucking things and have shit go off in a tizzy. But still, I can't do this anymore. Fuck. But still, guys, that being said, this is bad. And again, we have a few weeks till the election. A few months, right? August, September, October. No. So we have 4 months, give or take, right? And this ain't looking good. Every day is something. Now, a lot of people are also talking about the Yellowstone thing. I think that was just a pressure release. I hope that's all it was, and it wasn't the beginning of something bigger, because we got other problems to deal with. Yellowstone going off right now would only complicate matters. And I don't think it would go off like it is in the movies, like the end-all, be-all, but it would be fucking us in the ass pretty hard. So we're definitely, guys, in some kind of a bad spot. Now, again, I've said this before. I do not want to sound like a broken record, but I am. There is that bad feeling, and this bad feeling is starting to pan out. A lot of things are starting to pan out, by the way. What I see coming is a curveball. It's something that we might not see. Asteroids are almost about to hit Earth. It's every week there's an asteroid flying by, might hit us. If it does, it's gonna fuck us, and it's all kinds of crazy shit. I'm done with asteroids. Until it hits, I don't want to hear anything about it. And we've had some close calls. We had a lot of close calls, but still. Yellowstone is not a threat. Turk said Yellowstone is not a threat. Yellowstone is an absolute threat, dummy. Anyway, that being said, the amount of things that are going to happen and that we have to be ready for are unknowns right now. Granted, we will see a tumultuous election. Not that we will. We'll definitely see more violent protesting. There was just one in D.C., I think, with the Palestinians the other day. That went sideways. And that's only going to get worse. They're going to go after Kamala Harris now. Those people, those protesters, they're going to go after her. Because it's seemingly she's backing Israel when she had a different saying and a different stance a few weeks ago. Money does make strange bedfellows, that's for sure. So she's definitely going to switch. the amount of bad things that are also going to happen behind this election are, you can't see that coming. No one can see that coming. I mean, maybe people who are in the know, who have people in the what you call it, maybe they'll see it coming. But there's a lot of things, guys, that we will not see coming. And it's just going to get bad. Super bad. And maybe for a lot of people, President Trump winning is super bad. I don't think so. I think Kamala Harris winning is going to be super bad. I think if Kamala Harris wins, guys, either we do something or we shut up and don't. But we have to do it collectively. We can't go on our own. We can't be lone wolves. We can't. Because if she wins, that means it was taken. I'm going to get into a little bit about that, but you're not going to believe what I read earlier today in regards to Kamala Harris and Trump. They're already rewriting the narrative, and we're going to talk more about that on The Angry Truth. But if that does happen, something's got to be done. Simple as that. Super bad. Was a good movie. We're not going to talk about movies tonight. Though there are a lot of good movies that we could definitely talk about, but not tonight. Matter of fact, I don't want to start it because I know what it means if I start this shit this early. I usually start it later. But American Ninja 1 and 2. Yes. But we're going to talk more about that in the movie live stream. Probably next week. We might do it next week. We'll see. We'll see if I'm off Wednesday. It has to be a Wednesday that I'm off, that I'm doing. Obviously, I can't take every Wednesday off because I'm working, right? Like I can't take every Tuesday off because I'm working. But we'll make it happen. I missed the movie night. Cat Girl, movie night was fun. It's going to get funner. That's a word, funner. Yeah, I guess it is. One has been found. I hate when you guys write in fucking riddles like that. Can you please, one good Kev, elaborate on one has been found? We might talk about 80s TV shows as well. We might. We're all gonna die is Wednesday. Yes, we're all gonna die Wednesdays. It's Wednesday, and that's Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival's live stream that he does every Wednesday at 7:30, if I'm not mistaken. 7:30. Crush Groove, everybody loves that. The fat voice, yeah. But anyway, so let's get on with the amazing move that the Chinese pulled out of their ass. So Russia and China carry out first joint bomber patrol. Now they're calling it a patrol like they were calling the cyber attack a cyber outage. You know the one thing, and I have to say this, but a lot of people, guys, will believe what we're told to a point. That is just a matter of fact. People seem to think that, we all think on our own. We don't. People will be fed whatever they're fed by the media, and they'll believe it, right? So good, bad, or indifferent, we all do it. And everything I'm skeptical of, guys. Everything. There isn't one thing that I'm not. But I also try to ride that line of not entering true conspiracy theory. Like before I get into this article, the one thing that was a red flag to me, a giant red flag, was the shooter that tried to take Trump out. Why was he found so far away from his rifle if he was shot in the face? Right? Because that was the only thing that was sticking up over the peak part of the roof. Right? Keep in mind, guys, that roof was like a 5% grade, if that. So his head was sticking up. They caught him in the face. Did he roll away from his rifle and leave his rifle a good 20 feet away from him? 15 to 20 feet away from him? Why is no one questioning that? We all focused on what he did and how close Trump came to passing away. But why was his rifle so far away from his body? Did he take it in the face and go, ouch, and throw the rifle? Did he get hit and roll, which would be an impossibility, being that he was facing the snipers, they hit him. And they were actually to his right. If I'm looking at the schematic right, nobody rolls that far away. So that makes more sense now. They moved the rifle away from him thinking he might still be alive. After getting shot in the face, he was obviously dead. You realize he spoke last night. I did not realize, did Biden speak last night? Because some people say yes, some people say it's still missing. I don't pay attention to when Biden speaks. Probably kicked it away, don't know. Right, but kicking the rifle away, it just landed too perfectly in the direction of Trump. I've seen weapons get kicked. Listen, anything is possible. But whatever. She's a ruby. 300 Win Mag is not a big round. I know nothing about the rounds he used other than somebody said the round he used was kind of light. But again, I don't know what that means. Trump almost caught it. Light or not, guys, he almost caught it in the head. It was a turn that saved Trump's life. Nothing else. Pure luck saved his life. That's all it was. If Trump would have kept his head talking, he would have caught it right in the face, on the side of the head. Luck saved him. That's all it was. It wasn't bad aiming. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't the sun in the shooter's eye. It was luck. Oh, he did a national address. Okay. Biden had a premiere, not alive. He read the teleprompter. Okay, what? All right, fine. There was no bullet. Now, some shades like there was no bullet. If you could tell me what that was whizzing past his head, fine. AI spoke last night. God is on the side. All right. So, again, guys, I don't take it. I look at everything, and everything is suspect. Everything is a suspect. I'm not going to sit there and be completely, because the problem, guys, is that we were being lied to by the media for decades. Decades. Now with AI involved, AI complicates everything. Everything. So with that, man, I don't know what to believe anymore. And that's the hard part. You know, like I'll read something like this shit here with the Chinese and Russian fighter jets carrying out a patrolling mission. You know, but they did it together. They did it together as a symbol of fuck America. We teamed up. Now what kind of deal? AI read the prompter. You know, it's interesting. People said he spoke last night. I didn't see anything about him speaking last night. I didn't see any notifications on my phone that he was speaking. That's why usually when a president speaks, I get a notification, right? It says, dumbass is live speaking now, or he addressed the nation. I didn't see it. And even so, guys, when you make a big decision like that, you address it at the time you leave. You don't text everybody on Twitter, hey, by the way, I'm leaving the presidential race. I'll talk to you in 5 days. No one does that. Right, so he spoke for 11 minutes. All right, 1 minute over than I thought he was going to speak. Live chat room. But yeah, guys, I don't believe a lot of this shit that goes on. And again, you address the nation when you do something like that immediately. You don't wait 5 days. If he steps down as president, he has to do that live. You can't fucking say and tweet, oh, by the way, I'm stepping down as president of the United States. I'll address you guys in a couple of days. That is the most unprofessional shit I've ever seen. And I've seen some unprofessional shit. I didn't expect that out of this administration. Not that kind of unprofessionalism. That's like breaking up with your girlfriend. Unprofessional, or disrespectful rather, sorry. That was the most disrespectful thing you could do to a nation. But with that, man, no one's calling him out on that bullshit. They're just like, oh, he's sick, he's old. You know? Well, he's not gone, nobody. He just resigned from the race. He's still the president. I mean, I don't see what kicking him out a few months ahead of time is really going to do. It's going to put stupid in charge is what it's going to do. Jennifer Ocean Homestead, thank you for that. So hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. Or just hit the like button, guys. Whether you hate me, you like me, you don't like black people, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. If you fucking like the chocolate prepper, go ahead, hit the thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. So, I don't care. It just helps with the algorithm either way. Not giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down just, doesn't help with the algorithm. Watching helps. Thumbs up helps. Do something. He is simply suspending his campaign. He is simply suspending his re-election campaign. Right, but now they're asking for him to step down. From the last I heard. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is just one big mess. This year, we thought 2020 was bad. This year could turn into a fucking clusterfuck in the last hour. In the last hour, shit can go sideways right now, man. We're all like, we're bracing for the bullshit. We seriously are. I think we all are. Am I ready for the bullshit? Yeah, man. There's a side of me that's like, yo, let's go. But I'd like to know what's coming, but unfortunately, we're not going to know what's coming. Unfortunately, guys, it's going to hit us in the side of the fucking head. No pun intended. It's going to fucking hurt if it's bad. If it's what I think it is, it's going to fucking hurt. But, fractal. If Biden resigns as POTUS, Harris becomes the 48th. Yeah, right? I like Tom McDonald's song, but I can't listen to all of them. I don't have the attention span anymore. Because they're saying the exact shit everybody else is saying. They're just putting it in rap form, making more sense. That's all it is. He's not saying anything spectacular. He's just putting it in a colorful way. But yeah. No, Frank, he didn't resign. They're asking him to resign as president. He suspended his campaign, is what he did. He's supposed to be handing his money over to Kamala Harris, but if I'm not mistaken, Trump just filed some shit yesterday. See if I can find it. Trump files FEC complaint over transfer of Biden cash to Harris. All that does is that ties up the cash so that he can't transfer it to her. She already has $126 million inside of like 3-4 days. She doesn't need the 91. But if she has the 91 million, what they can do, guys, is bombard us with commercials of Kamala Harris. So every time you turn your TV on, you turn your phone on, you get a text message from that bitch. That's what they can do with that money. They can also swindle people to back her up with that money, which is fucking crazy. Corporations are buying her out as we speak. There are people who are going to supposedly donate to Trump that are not donating to Trump, but are donating to her now. Supposedly. Again, we're going to talk about that more on the Angry Truths channel. But yeah, Kamala Harris is just a bad news, man. Bad news. On every YouTube. I haven't seen one yet. Now that I said that, I'm going to jinx it. But I haven't seen a Kamala Harris commercial. But all I know, guys, is that if Biden steps down, we could be in a world of hurt. If Biden steps down and something goes down, and something on the scale of a small tactical nuke being detonated somewhere in the United States, the timing would be too on point. And if that happens, they're going to blame Russia or a terrorist organization coming across the border. They're probably going to go with that first because Russia's less believable. And then she's going to lock the country down with her emergency executive order bullshit, martial law in all 50 states, activate the National Guards and military, Army and Marines probably. You're going to get infighting with the National Guards, Army and Marine if she was to enact that. you're probably going to see a lot of fucked up shit if that goes down, and if it goes down that way. If it doesn't go down that way and Trump actually does win, we could possibly still see a different Trump. Not as bad as Kamala Harris, but we could definitely see a different Trump. So either way, guys, we're fucked. And this is probably the script written by the WEF. Which I don't know, because George Soros is way too involved. Or the Soros family is way too involved in all this shit. If you follow the money in the donations, guys, Kamala Harris got donations from George Soros. Now, BlackRock probably donated through her through way of another company or person who represents BlackRock. Nonetheless, she's being bought out. And she's being bought out fast. That amount of money in that little time means she was bought out. The danger behind that, guys, is bad. So, things are only going to get way more interesting. Again, one side of me can't wait. The other side of me is like... Yeah, like I said, guys, one side of me can't wait. The other side of me is just a little nervous about where this is going. Now, again, guys, the whole JD Vance, a lot of people are now starting to say they don't like him, this, that, and the third. There was something about JD Vance that just rubs me the wrong way. There's something about him I don't like. And we're going to find out about it sooner or later. If Trump loses, we'll find out about him in a big way. If a rumor about him is right, comes out, I don't know what that's going to do for Trump. That could damage Trump. And if that does damage Trump, listen, Trump's not smart when it comes to picking people, right? We saw what happened with Trump when he picked the wrong people. Some of those people wound up selling him out or trying to sell him out. Picking JD Vance was a bad pick. He was better off picking somebody like me. But Vance is definitely something that can't be trusted. It's in the eyes, man. It's in the way he moves and the way he speaks. The amount of fucking cum gargling he was doing for Trump at the RNC was disgusting. My stomach was turning. I mean, I've never seen somebody suck a dick so hard other than Kamala Harris. This dude was fucking using both hands and his fucking throat. I mean, it was fucking disgusting. And I cannot respect a man who does that to another man on national TV. And Trump, I will be your savior and do whatever you say. He sounded like a fuckboy, is what he sounded like. Anyway, that being said, man, it's just, that dude just rubs me the wrong way, and nothing good can come of him and his presence. Is he straight? I don't know. AI Vance. But, yeah, Pence was just like, Pence looked like he was forced into that position. Like, you know, when Pence was running with Trump, he looked like he was like, fuck, man. You know, I took this gig, and now I'm stuck with this fucking asshole. And Pence was just quiet. You know, like, he was way too quiet for a vice president. But it seems like JD Vance is going to be way too, you know, cock-slappy happy for my liking, you know? But whatever. We shall see. Money controls politics. Eduardo, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. It's appreciated, boss. If somebody else donated earlier, thank you for the donations. I think somebody else did. I do appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, Sarah Jimmy? Is that how you say it? Yeah, it's just not a trust. He doesn't seem like it. I'm hoping him to prove me wrong. That's all. Right? A homeless security secretary. Yes, I am. No, but anyway, we have to wait and see. That's the other problem. We got to wait and see. But again, man, what's on the agenda for the Angry Truth tonight? Is that Spaz? Right? Spaz, we're talking about... tonight on the Angry Truth, we're going to talk about Kamala Harris and us being in deeper trouble. And why? And the narrative they're setting up for Kamala Harris. A dangerous narrative that if it comes, not even comes to fruition, that if Trump winds up losing, they're going to look back on the narrative that they changed and keep publishing about her winning. Bad news, man. And Hillary Clinton just said yesterday, oh, she can beat Trump. Okay. All right. I know where this is going, man. I know where the fuck this is going. I do not see Trump winning. I just don't. Not with the amount of bullshit that's going on. Yeah, I know. But anyway, where are we? 9:30. All right. Well, Mateo, he has to pick people he trusts. He is bad at picking the outside people. I mean, he really is. He's horrible at it. And he's not a politician, so he doesn't know people and their bullshit. You know? So, like, he heard of these people, but he doesn't know these people. You know? So when people are suggesting this guy and that guy and this chick and that guy, he's just like, okay, he doesn't fucking know. But we shall wait and see to see what happens with this whole election, man. But I don't see this happening. And the thing is, if it doesn't happen and he suddenly loses, what are conservative Republicans and right-wingers going to do? That's the bigger question. What are they going to do? Scarlett, I'm not moving to Louisiana. That shit is out. If I move anywhere, it's North Carolina, Tennessee, maybe northern Oklahoma. Maybe. I mean, I've never been to Louisiana. Actually, I think I drove through Louisiana, right? I think I drove through it. Might have driven through it once, but I never actually seen Louisiana. No, actually, I never did. KK, you can't go wrong with a Marine. You absolutely the fuck can. You absolutely can. I think he's been a politician longer than he's been a Marine. The whole that he served doesn't mean shit anymore, guys. Granted, when people serve, and those of you who have served, thank you for your service. But a judge of character and serving doesn't go hand in hand anymore. It just doesn't. I'm tired of people like, well, he's a Marine. He was in Special Forces. Who's the fucking guy, the rhino with the fucking patch on his eye that turned into be a piece of shit, and he was a Navy SEAL? Right? So that fucking, oh, he served shit. If you're a politician and you've been a politician longer than you served, you're undoubtedly going to be touched by the piece of shits that are out there, in turn turning into a piece of shit. Nope, not Mississippi either. But there are people I know who served, and they don't have the scumbaggery that a lot of politicians have now. And they go, well, I served my country. Good for fucking you. That doesn't mean shit. That means nothing. Eye patch McCain. No, not, well, you know the guy I'm talking about. Crenshaw, right, that's his name, Doug Crenshaw. That dude, fucking bag of shit. Well, Kaiser, military service makes you a patriot to a point. But when you start becoming a politician and forgetting about the people you serve, that, is it Doug Crenshaw, Dan Crenshaw, or Crenshaw is a douche? From what I've heard him say, he's seemingly like a douche. And a lot of politicians, man, a lot of military guys who become politicians, they normally get corrupt anyway. Right? So, Crenshaw turned out to be a rhino. Listen, it's not even they're bad Marines, they're bad Army men, they're bad Rangers, they're bad Coast Guards. I'm sorry I said Coast Guards. Bad Navy guys. That's not about it. They're bad people. And just because you serve doesn't mean you're like this elite good guy. You're not. You know how many fucking scumbag firefighters are out there that I know personally that I want to kick down a flight of fucking stairs? because they're pieces of shit. You know how many pieces of shit cops are out there? Just because you serve don't make you a fucking good guy. There is far more to being a good person than just serving. There's a lot more to it. And you're not a good fucking person until you reach the finish line, guys. Until you cross that line, you're laying in your deathbed, you can look back and go, I think I did good. I think I did okay. Then only then can you be labeled good. Right now, a lot of us are just still trying to figure it out and make sure we don't step into bullshit. Make sure we don't get in trouble along the way. Netflix donated $7 million to Harris. No shit. Guess it's time to get rid of a Netflix account. Vance is very close friend to Don Jr. All right, we shall see, man. But again, don't trust it, dude. But yeah, you know, again with the whole fucking serving, it doesn't mean shit, man. You know, I mean, like the cop that shot, what's his name? Officer Tatum, right? This guy fell the fuck off, man. I know that he used to be law enforcement, but you can't suck every cop's dick for every action they do. You know, like the guys that shot that black woman who supposedly threw hot water at them. Everybody and their mothers were saying that wasn't a justified shooting. Somehow, Officer Tatum was saying, oh, that's a justified shooting. How about you take the cop's dick out of your mouth and look at for what it was? We don't know. Listen, no one wants to get hit with hot water, scalding hot water. But at best, it's a second-degree burn from if I'm not mistaken, it was a kettle. And the bitch was fucking crazy anyway. But still, it's not a justified shooting, right? Nonetheless, people like him are sitting there siding with this cop because he thinks all cops are good. Come hell or high water, they're all good to him. That's called being blinded by the bullshit. You got to look at everybody individually, not because of what they do. Does it help when you're meeting somebody and you're like, this guy seems like a good dude, and then he tells you who's in the service, you go, all right, okay, you know? But that's it. Being in the service, being a cop, fireman, EMT, maybe a correctional officer, maybe sanitation if you want to go that far. Maybe being all of that, you know, definitely helps a little bit. But there's scumbags in every fucking field, guys. Every field is scumbags. Tatum is a buff, a wannabe. Well, he used to be a cop. Tatum used to be a cop. But he used to be in the SWAT, if I'm not mistaken. He used to be a SWAT team cop. Everybody says, your wall's moving again. But yeah, like, yo, I read the comments on a video he did where he said it was justified. Almost every comment, and I never read other people's comments, almost every comment, man, they tore him a new asshole. A new one. And in this case, they were wrong. One cop on gun, one cop on taser. That was a very taserable situation. Very. At best, one in the leg. At best. But fucking put one in her face for hot water? Not good at all, man. Shanamanga sheriffs, county sheriffs are jerks. I didn't know anything about them. Other than, I guess, what you're saying. But yeah, that was a bad shooting. That was the worst shoot. And the thing is that the media is trying to drum this up, right? So the media is trying to create more division right now to hopefully have a divisive fall, maybe Christmas season, because they're like, this white cop shot this black lady. They weren't fucking around. They threw that dude in jail. They weren't playing around. They weren't like, yo, you know, let's see where this goes. No, they put his ass and they locked him up and charged him. Fucking good. So they handled it. They dealt with it swiftly. He will be found guilty. There is no other way he'll be found innocent. Now, if he's found innocent, then they want that riot. They want that 2020 riot season back again. That's what they want. What did Katrina say? Somebody said, what the fuck? I hate when this happens. Whatever, somebody will... Yes, my wall is fake, guys. What is wrong? Do people seriously think I had a real fucking brick wall in my home? My apartment, I'm sorry. It's fake, man. Look at that, see? You hear that? Brick walls don't sound like that. He executed her. Yeah, man, and you know, and again, it wasn't like she was a trap queen or anything like that. Like, I heard the story at first, that's what I thought. At first, I thought to myself, at first I thought, you know, she was like a drug addict or she was a psych patient. She might have pulled out a knife. That's all and I looked at it, I was like, it's bullshit. But then someone showed me a video of it. I was like, yo. Now, she attempted to throw the hot water at the last minute. If you look at the bottom right corner of the screen, you can see steam 5 feet away from the cop's foot. Nonetheless, guys, they're fully clothed. It was a kettle. You can't get fucking water out of a kettle like that. You really can't. It's hard. At least it looked like a kettle. Even if it was a pot of water, still, at best, you turn your head, you throw your arm up, you got a couple burns on your arm. You're not going to fucking die, you know? It's not the end of the world. But they're trying to beat the whole racial divide again, and it's not working because, well, we got a president who stepped down from an election. We got Russia and China with their bullshitting all the way, man. No, I don't, right? People are like, oh my God, how is that fake? I'm looking at this right now. I'm like, it doesn't even look real on the screen. I mean, I guess it does. I don't know. But I finally got my backdrop for my movie channel. I know, not that she was breaking my balls. Somebody made a suggestion. You should have a different background for your movies. I'm like, I did. I ordered them and they got lost. And so I had to reorder it, you know. So my next movie live stream will have a movie paraphernalia shit behind me. And it's probably pretty fucking gay. Nonetheless, it is what it is for now. But yeah, moving right along. But that chair is real. The chair is very real. You can see it. All right, you can see the AIDS chair. It's just getting worse day by day. It looks good until it pulsates. Okay, all right. People saying it looks real. I guess. I was going to say, you fucking people high? Stop smoking weed. No, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I would never have thought in a million years it was real. No matter who was sitting in front of it. Anyway, let me finish the story because we got like 15 minutes to go off the air. Oh, my other movie backdrop is being shipped right now as we speak. Yes. The background of Sesame Street. The gay film critic. There's probably a gay film critic out there talking about everything gay. There's a fucking... Dude, there's a YouTube channel for everything, man. Everything. Missy Stevens. What else would have it been? Can you... Because that's what Tatum said. How did the cops... What the fuck else would it have been? When Tatum said that, I'm like, are you fucking retarded and stupid and a moron all in one? It was water. They saw that she was boiling water. They were standing there when she was boiling it. They told her to turn it off. If it was anything else, it would have smelt the house. If it was chlorine or bleach, it would have probably fucking caught fire. If it was acid, and who boils acid? Acid's already acidic. You don't need to boil it. If it was any other noxious gas, they would have all been out on their asses, knocked out. So yeah, saying that what was it is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. And when water is boiling, you can smell it. Especially in a small house like that. Yeah, boiling acid is stupid. And people are just like, oh, it could have been acid. What are you, fucking retarded? Did you go to school? Come on. Use your fucking head. I know people want to defend the cops, but you can't defend them on every shooting. This shooting was bullshit. Period. It was absolute bullshit. Yeah, boiling water is bad, but it's not bullet in the face bad. One shot, one kill. It really isn't. Do I still have that bling ride? What, the Tahoe? Yes. She was cooking crack. Even if she was cooking crack, still. Yeah, you can smell boiling water. Depends on the water. You know when you could smell that or feel that steam. It's a weird smell, but you can smell it. You know when someone's boiling water. You know when the stove is on. If she was doing coffee, they would have smelled that. They would have known that. But, yeah. Acid, they would have known. First of all, acid, depending on the kind of acid, they would have probably all been knocked out anyway. And she was not a threat. And was it 2 shots or 1? Was one to her face and one to her... I don't know. All I know, man, is that it was a bad shooting. That was the worst shooting I've ever seen. But again, they dealt with the cops accordingly. The cop accordingly. And they should have tasered her. From what I heard, the cop had a taser. One had his gun out. The other guy, the one in the back, should have grabbed the taser. The more aggressive one should have grabbed the taser. Maybe she rebuked him because, I don't know. He said something to her, but still, that's not a bullet in the face. Yeah, boiling water in the eye is bad. It could blind you. Again, could. You know, it's not definite. Again, that was a bad shooting. It just is what it was. You can't justify that one. And again, we all Monday morning quarterback, but they had enough time to decide what they were going to do next. It wasn't like, you know, they walked into the house and the bitch was like, aha, and then like from behind the door with a boiling pot of water. They were looking at her. They were engaging. They saw everything that was going down. They saw every step she took. She didn't reach into a drawer. She didn't reach into a cupboard. She wasn't boiling a pot of bullets. She was boiling water. She felt his evilness. Pretty Prepper, she probably did. If you looked at his track record, he had a shitty track record, by the way. Right? He had a shitty track record. So, again, acorns and noise. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nobody wants hot water in the face. I agree. I will wholeheartedly agree with that. But really, in the face? They have tasers for that very reason. So, somebody asked, TK, I guess you were late, but I said what might be coming. I already said it earlier today. If you made it on time, you would have fucking known what I said. But let me recap. What could be coming, guys, is something that this country has never, ever seen. Ever seen. And again, I think that if Biden steps down, we're going to be in a world of hurt. If he steps down, Kamala Harris takes over. Kamala Harris is going to... Something interesting is going to happen. Small tactical nuke or some kind of device going off on American soil. They're going to turn around and blame the open border and the terrorists that snuck in for the last year, 2 years, 3 years over the border. They're going to shut the United States down to find the culprits. She's going to use some kind of executive order, shut it down, initiate martial law on a grand scale. A scale that we've never, ever seen. She's going to authorize the Marines and the Army to activate them on American soil as well, along with the National Guards. Then you're going to see the fun shit. Dontrell, January. Biden's not stepping down. Why do you think he would? Because they're calling for him to step down because he cannot run. He has not been seen in 6 days now, or maybe 7, right? He's been off grid. He is very sick. Some people are assuming he's dead. Right? We had the Chinese and the Russians flying bombers near Alaska today as a practice run. Bombers that were, right? And things are getting inherently bad countrywide. People are making up excuses for every action that cops do, every action that Kamala Harris makes, every action that Biden does that's wrong. People are even making excuses for Trump and his new line of bullshit that's going on. But anyway, let me finish this article because I got 10 minutes. So Russia and China carry out first joint bomber patrol. Why would they be doing a bomber patrol? Not sure. To show their strength and their unity. But two Russians, two Chinese bombers patrolled airspace near American territory and were intercepted by the U.S. and Canadian jets. Russia and China flew strategic bombers in a joint patrol exercise near Alaska. The first time they had conducted an air drill together in that area, a pointed signal to Washington of their deeper military ties. Two Russian Tu-95 bombers and two Chinese, am I saying this right? Zhang H-6 planes flew over the waters of the Chukchi and Bering Sea. And I'm pretty sure it's Chukchi and Bering Sea, with Russian fighter jets guiding them. So shit, man, that's five enemy vessels, or vehicles, if you will, with Russian fighter jets, plural, guiding them. The Russian Defense Ministry said Thursday in a statement, the joint flight lasted longer than 5 hours. The ministry added, it took place on Wednesday. That was yesterday. During the flight, the Russian and Chinese crews worked through an issue of cooperation at all stages of an air patrol in a new area of joint operations, the Russian Defense Ministry said. The ministry said the drill was not directed against third countries. Not directed against third countries. Then why do it up there? They could have did it anywhere over Russia and pretended that they were like, you know, why did they do it so close to the border? Because they're trying to fucking... But yeah. Right? Is it Chukchi? Am I saying it wrong? Yeah, whatever. I can never pronounce anything right anyway. So let's see. The exercise prompted the United States and Canadian to scramble their fighter jets to carry out what is known as an intercept in military parlance, or when a country flies its jets alongside foreign aircraft as a show of defense. The U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said at a Pentagon news conference that the aircraft were closely monitored and didn't enter our airspace. I think the closest point of approach was about 200 miles off our coast. That's close enough. Joint air drills near Alaska involving bomber capabilities of delivering nuclear missile comes as President Vladimir Putin of Russia, no shit, deepens his military ties with China, in part as a signal to the West that he will not remain isolated over his invasion of Ukraine. In addition to the other joint drills and sales of Russian arms to China, Mr. Putin has grown to rely on a flow of dual-use goods from Russia to sustain his war efforts. Though Moscow and Beijing carried out their first joint patrol of strategic bomber in 2019, military exercises have increased in frequency since then. They are designed in part to send messages of defiance to Washington and its allies, but also to give the two military practices in operating together should they one day need to fly jointly in a war. They could do that shit over their country at any given time. There's such vast rooms and vast space in Russia that they can do this drill. That is such a bullshit reasoning and a bullshit excuse. Let's see. For Russia, all right, whatever. For Russia, the display of China's support is part of a broader effort to end American dominance on the world stage and respond to Washington's regular schedule of exercises of its own allies. It is still a signal. It's still in the signal stage, Alexander Gabov, director of the Carnage Russian Center, said of Russia's action. Sorry, and the signal is, "Hey U.S." This is the Russian speaking now. "Hey U.S. We are not alone. We are having a partner that has a huge nuclear arsenal." What? Who talks like that? And the signal is, "Hey U.S. We are not alone. We are having a partner that has a huge arsenal." Fucking retards. Anyway, the Chinese-Russian bombers didn't cross into America or Canadian airspace during the Wednesday joint patrol, according to the North American Aerospace NORAD. A joint military operation between the United States and Canada that defends the continent's airspace. NORAD said that Russian and Chinese aircraft were not seen as a threat, but they had to show force. I guess that's why they flew it. So it was 2 bombers from Russia, 2 bombers from China, and then how many fighter jets? Let's just say 2 to 4. That's a lot. The Chinese-Russian bombers flying in an area known as the Alaska Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. ADIZ. I'm probably saying that wrong too. It is just outside the U.S. airspace around the Alaskan coast, where the United States and Canada require identification of aircrafts for national security reasons. The U.S. and Canadian militaries have intercepted 6 to 7 Russian warplanes a year on average since 2007 within the zone, NORAD said in a statement last year, but the area is far afield for China warplanes. It is. That is actually true. Normally Russia fucks with us. This is the first time China jumped in on this. Oh well. The last such patrol took place in Asia in December. That was last year. That was when both bombers did a patrol in Asia. But they felt like saying, you know what? Let's get as close as we can to the American airspace over there in Alaska. Let's see what they do next. Martin, I wouldn't be surprised if they've flown and were in our airspace. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they were in our airspace in this manner. But they're lying and saying that they were 200 miles away. I wouldn't be surprised because, yeah, man, because fuck us. So, no matter what happens next, no matter what comes down the pike, guys, we have to be ready. I know a lot of us are. I know a lot of us are starting to get nervous. Don't get nervous. Don't waver in the bullshit. Be ready for what's going to happen next. Because we don't know what's going to happen next. And any YouTube channel, guys, that tells you that they know what's going to happen, yo, turn them off right now because they're fucking lying. None of these motherfuckers saw Trump getting shot at. None of these guys saw Biden stepping down. Biden stepping down was logical, but I didn't see that happening. Trump getting shot at, I saw that happening. Biden stepping down so that Kamala Harris can take over and institute martial law, I can absolutely see that happening. On a scale of a 1 to 10, 10 being absolute and 1 being absolutely not, I'm going to stick around 5 or 6. What I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if she did some shit. Anyway, guys, that being said, we're going to go off the air right now. I will see some of you guys over at The Angry Truth. We're going to talk about the massive problem with Harris collecting the amount of money she collected in 3 days. Anyway, guys, see some of you guys over there. See the rest of you guys next week. And I will try to have a Angry Film Critic live stream next month. We're going to talk about 80s movies as a whole. Next live stream will be 90s movies and why those eras were so good. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. And see you guys later.